Today, we try a new airbrush on one of my favorite Necron model, Kamoteph the Crooked. Gaahleri sent me this airbrush. Let's see if it will help me in this process. Welcome! I hope you are all doing well. My name is Hubert and today we have a lot to talk about. While bringing Kamoteph to life, I want to review the Gaahleri Mobius 0.2 airbrush, share with you some tips about common use and maintenance of airbrushes and compressors. I've been using these tools for a bit more than a year, and let's say I've made mistakes, so I have a few tips for you. Let's start with Kamoteph. Let's clean him up and prep him for painting. By the way, what do we know about him exactly?
Even by the standards of the Necrons, Kamoteph is ancient and is hunched over due to the weight of his own body. So much so, in fact, that it almost looks like the Cryptech is using his staff of light as a walking stick.
That's it?
He was an exclusive model available at Warhammer stores in 2021.
Alright, that's not very much. There are some fun theories about him, but one in particular caught my attention. It's called the Gardener Crusade story.
A what? Please, no more! We will find you a shrubbery. You must return here with a shrubbery!
Kamoteph once dreamed of tending a garden on a lush planet full of life. After biotransference, he colonized a backwater world filled with plants, but war turned them to ash. This loss fuels his rage and inspired a humorous get-off-my-lawn stratagem. Enemies within 24 inches grant Necron units full reroll on ranged attacks.
Get off my lawn.
I have absolutely no idea what to do with him, and all I knew was that this time I have more freedom with how I might paint him and his base, because I won't use him on the table. And you will see why in just a minute. I also knew I wanted him to be perched on a high base and that the paint job would include some fine detail airbrush work to push the Mobius 0.2 to its limits, or myself. So while I was improvising the base, the end result started to take shape in my head, and that's something you want when painting something new. I've worked 4 years as a photographer, and one thing I've learned about anything you create as an artist is that you'll have more success when working with a clear goal in mind. Well, it might be just me, but if I have the end result in mind, it's easier for me to reverse engineer it to get the recipe I need. I'll go for the gardener route, an old Necron Cryptech shooting eldritch energy from his hand. So I had to cut off his left hand, reshape it, spend 2 hours trying to glue it back, before even attempting to add copper wire. Next, I added some resin shrooms that will glow green, I hope, and some texture to add more grit to the model. I just used some dark mud texture from Greensoft World. Let it dry overnight, and then it was time to work on the lightning effect. And this is the step that fucked me and made me buy Superglue Activator. I got some 30 gauge copper wire this time, and I think this is a perfect size for this scale. Here is how it went.
apply a sacred drop of superglue to one part, mix the other with activator, and unite them swiftly. Thus shall the machine spirit bless your bond.
Yes, I know. This is the last time I try a project like this without this stuff. Now that I have a full-time day job, I have to get better at managing my time, and this was not it. Took me all Sunday morning to make this work, while I could have been advancing on the paint job. And this is why I will never use it on the table. Too fragile. And yes, I could have drilled some holes, and yes, I didn't want to, and yes, I regretted it. Let's just hope it holds for the painting session. Let's prime him and create a base look for our glow effect. I asked myself if this was the time to try something new for the metal body, but as time runs short, let's keep to what we know and our true metal recipe. So black, gunmetal dry brush, warp lightning glaze, then enamel streaking grime. With the texture I added beforehand, I hope to get a good grimdark base. You know the drill, let's get to it.
Engage the sacred trinity. Like, comment, and subscribe if you will, so the Omnicia may bless this channel with increased algorithmic visibility.
I remember cause last and tainted glass. I remember cause last and it's just and good and good and I remember cause last and tainted glass. I remember cause last and cause last and tainted glass. I remember cause last and it's just good I remember cause last and tainted glass. I remember cause last and it's just
I'm in a hurry, so I used an air dryer to help it dry faster. Then it was ready for some detail work. I start with the eye and jewels, with Caliban green, Warpstone glow, Moot green and a white dot, and then I moved to the rib cages. Simple because Kamoteph is so crooked, you can't reach them.
I've fallen, and I can't get up!
Final step before trying the Mobius Point 2. White ink on the copper wires to prepare for my glow effects. Now, let's talk about this airbrush. How did I get my hands on this? Simple, really. I've been looking to upgrade my 0.4 Iwata for a while, and one of you recommended me this brand. I've never used a Gaahleri product in my life, and I'm currently broke. So I contacted them, and they responded. I offered to review the Mobius Point 2 and use it in my vids if they wanted to work with me. They agreed and sent me one for free. Great timing because they have global promotion starting this week on their website, introducing new products. A new airbrush paint range, as well as a new silent compressor. I've never done this before and they were very kind in the process, so thank you. You will find my link to their website as well as a 10% discount code in the description. So, the Mobius Point 2 is supposed to be easy to use, disassemble and clean, while being really good bang for your buck. And if you've been watching my other videos, you know I use the airbrush in almost all my projects, sometimes a cheap one for priming and using enamels, and sometimes I try to push myself to do detailed airbrush work. I'm not a sellout, I know nothing about this company, and if you know me, you know I want to keep things transparent, and I'll just give you my honest opinion. First, the Mobius Point 2 looks cool. I like having an air control knob at the front, might help a lot with airflow control, and I like the small paint cup. Means less cleaning. You can change it of course, and this is not exclusive to this brand. Second, and again not something they invented, but a choice they made, the nozzle is really easy to access, remove and clean. One of the main reasons people don't use airbrushes is because of all that comes with them, and this helps. The only reason I would tell you not to buy this one is if you've never used an airbrush before, but that goes for all brands. Want to know why? 0.2mm might be tricky if you are new. Just go for 0.4, as I did, and it happens they sell a kit for this one too. I have a really good feeling about this one, but this goes for all brands and models. If you take care of it, it will last. I've just got it out of the box, let's try it out. I have the glowing mushrooms, light stuff, lightning effects and the base to do with it. I will spare you the base because I improvised something with the AK Interactive lava kit and I prefer not to talk about it for now. We will get to it in a later video. So I start with white ink, then moot green and then a touch of fluorescent yellow. And the only thing I can say is wow, this is amazing. I'm not sure if it's just because I'm using a 0.2 needle for the first time, but I feel I have so much more control now. Paint goes where I want, and it's precise. If only I spent less time on the stupid copper wire, I would have more time to have fun with this airbrush. Paint swapping is really easy. Just rinse the cup with water, then blow back some air, repeat a few times. Check the needle for dried paint, and you're good to go. Here are some tips for you.
Initiate, heed these sacred maintenance rites. Do not purge dirty water through the nozzle. Use only clean water. Do not remove the holy needle while paint remains in the cup. Respect the machine spirit, and it shall serve you well.
This is really going smoothly, and I love it. Moot green is the same, except I might have not diluted it enough. I have to dilute my paints more when using a sharper needle. This is really enjoyable, and I can't wait to try more stuff with it. One more tip, and this one might concern a lot of you. By the way, I'm no teacher and I'm not qualified for any of this, but I've been using airbrushes for a while now, and I'm just sharing my experience. So if you have tips of your own, please share in the comments. I have a small hobby space, but I'm lucky to have one window, and my cats are not suicidal when I open it. I can just open it while airbrushing, wear a mask and I'm fine. But one mistake I made cost me my first compressor. See, most compressors have a tank and you'll find a screw at the bottom of it. Use the screw, especially if you have high humidity. Please purge your air tank. I didn't do it for the first 7 months of intense use, yes I know, and the chip screw rusted and I had to replace the whole thing. Now I have a new one, I swear I will take care of, and it even has a small ventilation system helping with heat building up. To purge your tank, just unscrew it when it's empty, block the hole with your finger, turn it on, wait, then release, repeat a few times. If you do this and use a dehumidifier, it will last for years. I know airbrushing comes with too much hassle and gear and knowledge for most of us, but setting up the proper space saves you most of the effort and time. Alright, I've said everything that I remembered about airbrushes and compressors. Now let's take a look at the finished Kamoteph the Crooked, standing proudly on what could have been a really cool looking lava base. I have learned a lot here, from using smaller caliber wire, screwing up the base, then falling in love with the Mobius Point 2. I enjoyed every step of this little project. Again, this airbrush feels amazing. It's very precise, easy to clean, easy to disassemble and reassemble. It's good looking. And of course I still have to get familiar with it and tweak a few things, but as you can see, the base is a huge mess. That's because I did over 20 passes with the airbrush, changing colors every time, and while doing so, I had absolutely no trouble at all swapping paints and cleaning. This was my first try at how I intend to do the bases for my Chaos Knights army, but I improvised every step just to test things out. Looks like trash, but enjoyable experience. I have a video about this coming really soon, and yeah, I hope I'll get better at this. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and again, thank you for watching and being here. This means a lot. And I will see you next week, if I can manage, for more Warhammer stuff. So until next time, happy painting!